I'm now going to talk about teaching our inside linebackers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about teaching my inside linebackers through our inside linebacker drill book. We call our linebackers Mike and Backer. They're our inside kids. For our stance and alignment, we have a narrow base with our feet under our armpits. Our knees, we want our knees over our toes with Z's in the knees. We want our hips flexed and high. With our shoulder and back, we want to have a flat back with our shoulders over the toes, protecting our numbers. Our eyes are on our keys and our arms are relaxed. When we line up in field defense, our kids have two alignments, minus and home base. What happens is when people come out in a 10 or 11 personnel, we are a field defense and we put our free safety to the field. Therefore, we have to minus our backers. We play at a depth of 3.5 to 4 yards, usually 4. Our backer in minus alignment will have his foot over the ball and the mic will be in a C split. If they go 3-by-1, our backers once again balance the formation and they play what is called home base. And in home base, the mic lines up in an A split or an A stack and the backer lines up in a C split. If we play two backs in the backfield, we line up and we have our linebackers line up to formation strength, once again balancing the formation. If there's in a pro formation, we line up in home base. If they're in twins, we bump the backers over to minus so that we have balance in our defensive formation. Our linebacker keys are the same as they've been for the last 20 years. We key the cross pull, the guard tackle bubble to the near back. When we read the guard tackle bubble, it's a quick flash. What we're looking for is that quick flash behind this pull up behind the center, which indicates trap, bootleg, or counter. On all those plays, the near back gives us a false read. So we need to read the flash of the guard tackle bubble. If we get a pull from the guard tackle bubble, our backer will run the crease. All right, he will run the crease. So over here, my backer is reading this tackle's foot and this guard's foot, and we are looking for the pull behind the center. If he gets that, he will run the crease. The crease is between the inside leg of the guard, and the near foot of the center. Over here, my linebacker is getting a false read because his guard's not pulling. So he starts to get his eyes on the near back, but our backer is going to help him because he's going to run the key and as the crease, and when he runs the crease, he's going to yell pull, pull, pull. When he does that, our opposite backer will stack and protect himself from the tackle and then work his way back into the play. If the pull goes the other way, the Mike backer will run the crease. It's a little bit tighter. The other backer gets a false read. He's lying to him. And as our Mike runs the crease, he makes the call to our other backer, pull, 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 okay, so he can protect himself behind the defensive end and come back and play behind the ball. If there is no pull, our backers play what we call 31. They are two-gap players. And that means if the ball is outside of them, they play the first digit. So the backer would play 91, and if the ball is outside of the mic, he would play 31, meaning the first digit's 3 and 9. If the ball's inside, they would play the first digit or the 1 technique. So you can see my numbers that I have on the field. And if there's no cross pull and the tailback goes right, okay, and the ball goes right and outside the backer, he becomes a 9 technique player with his heels on the line of scrimmage as fast as he can get there. If the ball goes this way, our linebacker here, who's in the A split, will play the 1 technique, which is the strong side A. Remember, our backers are two-gap players. If the ball goes opposite, our 31 backer will play the 3 technique inside a half of the B gap. And our 91 player will play the backside A. Cross pull 31-91 is how we teach our keys. And you know what? We've been doing it this way for 20 years and it's outstanding. In robber coverage, Our backers have to know if number 3 runs vertical, they have him. Vertical is 6 yards. Vertical to the corner, he's got him. Vertical in a dig at 10, he's got him. Wherever he's at vertical, after 6 yards, he's his. If he goes to the flat, he's got to rob the curl. If he goes under, he helps on the next crossing route. When we talk about the man side, it's really important that our Mike backer knows that into the boundary, he is man-to-man on the tailback. If the tailback is away from the man side and goes away, he has to cut to the shallow dig. So here we are. Even though he is not technically on the man side, if he goes out, our Mike will help on that shallow cross, making it go over the top. All right? When the Mike backer is playing, if we're in 52 and he's playing, okay, to the cloud edge, and we are like playing Vern or we're playing 52, our linebackers will match the inside receivers. What's that mean? They're going to use robber technique. And it's really easy for our kids. It's really easy for our kids. Let's talk about the edge for a little bit. How do we support the edge? In 51, we are man to the boundary. Mike is also in man coverage and plays shoot support. If we get 3-by-1, we can only play man with shoot support. Shoot support is when our 5 technique knocks the ball out radically and the Mike overlaps it. So here we are in 51, and maybe they're running like, quarterback power. The tailback comes in and leads. The will spill it. The quarterback will bounce, and the Mike will play the overlap. Okay? Our Mike is sprinting to this kid in green dog coverage, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but it's shoot support. If they're 3-by-1, our Mike has to almost be in a C-split here. Okay? If they run speed option, that's what they're going to run here. Okay? And they try to get this tackle. Okay? He's going to block inside. The will is going to take the quarterback, and the Mike is going to overlap to the pitch. That's how we handle the edge. In 52, 41, and 42, the boundary options and support calls. In all 3 calls, we can sky or cloud the boundary. Versus 3-by-1, we can sky the boundary with easy support and play it like 5. And 3-by-1, we can cloud the boundary and play it like cover 2 in 52. We have all sorts of options in supporting the boundaries. Okay? Let's take a look at our cross pull drills. We like to use trash cans. Sometimes we use the other kids. Here's what I like. Here's how I'm going to take you right through the drill. Okay? What we like to do is we like to have a full offensive line with a coach here. And what we're going to do is basically work on 3 plays. We're going to work on a cross pull from both sides and a stretch play to both sides. And all it does is help us learn our fits. Okay, sometimes we don't even have that. All right, the drill begins on a cadence. We use script cards till they're memorized. We force the scout players to fit on a firm block. All right, and the drill ends on a whistle. All right, and then we rotate running backs to linebackers. Here's what the script card looks like. Here's trap, cross pull, counter, cross pull, outside zone, and ISO. And we work on these 4 over and over again. When we teach blitz, we teach blitz dog in our drills. Now, we used to do this a lot when we get 2 in the backfield. We still teach it. We just don't put the time in because we don't see 2 in the backfield very much. All right, they have to work very hard on this. Here's what green dog is. When we run 6-man pressure, okay, and we are in cover 1, 2 of our second level players are going. The other 2 are sprinting to coverage. Okay, we sprint to coverage by playing the run. And basically, if we're running a perimeter blitz, and our 2 linebackers are sprinting to coverage and they run the ball there, we're there for the run. The coverage of sprinting to coverage is green dog coverage. The sprinting and wrapping them up is taking us to the run. Over here we get split coverage. Okay, if they come and we wrap them up, beautiful. All right, here we get 2 weak. Just if they're running the ball, beautiful, sprint to coverage. If not, we're hugging them up. We are keying them and hugging them up. Here's the drill. We set the drills up and we rotate just like we do in all our linebacker drills. All right? Pre-snap, the linebackers must identify the formation and line perfectly. Force the inside force the inside recognition and support call and stem on the cadence. When in the upper linebackers, the linebackers must have their inside legs up. Always keep your eyes on your key. As the ball is snapped, you have to recognize the backfield path and you sprint to coverage. Hug your back before he gets into space. We grossly over-exaggerate the hug in drills. We back off in skelly. Here's the key. If your back blocks, convert to be a playmaker and add to the pass rush, okay? So here they are coming this way, we're sprinting. It's probably going to be a run play. Here they are too weak, we're sprinting. Like it's ISO, we're sprinting to coverage. Split flow, you might be able to convert this if they're blocking. All right, option, sprint to coverage. It's a difficult look. There's the green dog card. How do you enhance it? Integrate all your second level players in the drill. Utilize all three styles of six-man pressure, internal, external, and overloads. Force great blitz technique and green dog coverage at the same time. Custom the drill to match your personnel's offense. And that's a tremendous drill by putting them all in. I love this drill here. Okay? We can use trash cans, we can spark, we can do it any way we want. But this is a great green dog drill. When we teach drills, we work off of trash cans. We work off of trash cans. We want to really have high reps. When we install a blitz, we always want to install it with proper technique. We use a hard cadence and ball movement. And this is the drill we use to teach blitz with our linebackers. Our core blitz is A3 seam. When we run A3 seam, we are going to strike our tackles like always, but they have to understand if pass shows, they need to get width. If it's a run situation, they're going to play technique. We've let our backers show too much. We want them to come from a little more depth. And when we teach this blitz, we're going to spark to the outside of the B gap, spark to the outside of the B gap, and we're going to bring our linebackers. Anything that looks like an ISO, our blitzing backers take on with the outside shoulder and spill. B should be from depth. And fellas, we name it simply. If we want to blitz the A gap, we call it A. If we want to blitz the B gap, we name it B. Why? Kids don't forget it. Okay? Ends have the same technique. Strike and play technique. If pass shows, get width. He's going to flush to you. Our tackles will spark the inside of the A gap. Our Mike and our backer will come from a little bit more depth than they have been. And if they get a lead block, they will take it on with the outside shoulder and spill. One of our stunts we've been doing a ton of in the last 3 years is blade. In blade, we actually have our tackle strike. We have him pick or strike the offensive tackle. So if he's going to zone block, we want to strike and ear hole him and knock him out of the picture as we bring the end underneath to the A gap and we blitz the backer off the edge. The edge technique is simple. If the outside guy blocks down, he bends and spills to his overhang player. If he steps out to zone block me, I come underneath him. On the backside, my tackle goes from A to B, and my Mike comes from depth. Blade has been a great stunt for us. Torpedo is very similar to blade. The backer comes off the edge. He has an edge technique. We use an edge technique with the stud where we bring him right at the face of the guard. If the guard bends like it is a veer block, if he veer blocks, the end will come off his tail and bend. If he comes high like it's a zone block, he will come underneath in congruence with the backer. The tackle takes the trip to the B gap and the Mike blitzes the A. When we blitz, we always want to have our inside leg up. We want our pad level low. I tell my kids all the time, I can never get you free. When we blitz, I get you matchups. Meaning I'm putting you in a position where you have a downhill run to defeat a defender. You have to get underneath them and rip and make the play. If you come free, it's a gift. You send me a Twinkie, okay? Now, I think when we teach blitzing for our kids, it's really important. If you still play a lot of people who are under center, I'm going to give you a little tip today. If quarterbacks are under center, watch their film. They go left, they go right, their head comes down, and when the chin drops, it drops right before the snap. If I'm playing somebody who's under center, I teach my kids to go when the chin drops because they are crossing the line as the ball is moving, and they destroy things. When people in the shotgun, it's not as easy. It's not as easy. But if they have a tell, you want to use it. So, once again, when we coach our inside linebackers, huge phases. Number one, alignment and stance. Cross pull to 3191. You have to know how to blitz. You have to know how to play robber coverage. And you got to have to understand what your man concepts are into the boundary. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.